film friends, friends of film, and everyone in between. Welcome to the Film Folklore Podcast Summer Miniseries. We are continuing along with our Summer Film Club, and like before, I am still Jed Props, and with me are Heather Ray Costumes.
Yeah, you're right.
Justin Sound.
Hello.
And Senor Collier POC.
Oh, hey.
We apologize for the week off. And that said, Justin, how are you feeling?
Fantastic.
Excellent. Are you up for your episode today?
I am.
I'm realizing in my notes I had titled this Justin Spaceballs, and maybe that's a little weird phrasing. But anyway.
You don't know.
Not at all.
Yeah. And we're going to get into that in more ways than one.
Hey, now.
I know. Just as a quick reminder of what we're doing here this summer miniseries. So we were kind of tasked with picking a movie that's special to you for whatever reason. Essentially, what's a favorite? If you go back to the first episode, I think I gave a laundry list of reasons, but that's essentially what we're doing here. What's a movie that's special to you? And for Justin, it's Spaceballs. And with that said, take it away, Justin.
Great. So, before we start, I'll mention my references, which are IMDb, Wikipedia, Spaceballs the documentary, and Force Yourself, the Scroobing of Sci-Fi, which is another Spaceballs documentary, as well as all of the special features of the Blu-ray.
Oh, nice.
Special edition. There you go. So I'll be posting this episode along with the ludicrous speed version of the film for anybody that didn't get a chance to watch it. They can watch it in about 40 seconds. Why I chose this film. So whenever somebody asks me what my favorite movie is, I usually try to answer with something different, not necessarily to be deceitful, but more so to challenge myself and to think about, the movies that have really made me feel something and what are my favorite movies rather than movie. But
we've also discussed that, it just depends when you see it. Sometimes things hit different at different times too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but the one that always comes to the top of my mind is definitely Spaceballs. So my dad introduced me to the film when I was around 10 or 11 years old, and he has since passed, but I do remember him introducing it to my friends and I, or he introduced it to me and I introduced it to my friends and blew their minds because they were all huge Star Wars nerds, and, I was sort of the clown of the group, and so... definitely made him happy with that.
This is definitely, like, of the Star Wars spoofs I know of, this is by far, light years, huh? But, it's like, way beyond anything else I've seen. Like, when you think of, like, Thumb Wars, if you remember all the Thumb movies that were not very good. But there's always been parodies. There was that short film called Lucas in Love. Did y'all ever see that?
No.
It was all under the theory that... a young George Lucas in college, all the ideas were basically around him physically, that he didn't have any original thought. It was just all physically there. Like there was a guy named Chewie that was, that kind of stuff. But, it's cute and everything.
Is he really hairy?
Yes. And
is he Chewie?
Yes. And but yeah, Spaceballs is, way above and beyond anything else,
sure.
Especially if you are a fan of Star Wars.
Yeah, and we'll find out why.
Ooh, teaser.
So I also think this film showed me that, filmmaking and making movies could be fun and goofy and maybe not too difficult, but we'll see later in life.
Surely this can't be hard.
Right. But it did seem like it's a career that's maybe possibly more in reach for me.
Is this the first Mel Brooks movie that you ever saw?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
But it did introduce me to Mel Brooks, and then I went down that rabbit hole really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember thinking to myself, that's impossible. I could never do something like that. But then seeing Spaceballs, I probably thought I could be a part of something like that. Or I wanted to bad enough to pursue it. I don't know when the Blu-ray box set came out, but I got that immediately.
Nice.
And
what did that include?
Everything.
Yeah.
Or 12 movies.
Okay.
So Men in Tights, let's see. I think the first one is High Fidelity. Spaceballs, of course. Blazing Saddles.
Oh, High Anxiety.
Obviously.
High anxiety. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
sorry.
going to say,
I was like, wait a minute.
that's a hard left turn for Mel Brooks.
yeah. High anxiety.
Because I'm a Hitchcock fan, and so I love High Anxiety because it's all a Hitchcock spoof. So that's why it took me a minute, but yeah. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, History of the World, Part 1, which was another one I really loved. So yeah, like Jed with Airplane, I can also pretty much quote this movie back to back, especially when it's playing on the TV. And I don't think there's a moment in there that I don't find funny, if not hilarious. So that's kind of why I picked the film.
And it's another comedy that grows with you too. Like there are jokes that you definitely don't pick up when you're younger.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, especially some of the more subtle, like silly jokes that you just don't think are very funny when you're a little bit. As an adult, you can appreciate the.
I also, I mean, even looking at trivia for this, and here it is. It's a movie that most of us have seen like a million times, and you're even seeing some stuff and you're going like, wait, where's that at? Like, I've never noticed that before. And then putting fresh eyes on it, you're still finding little bits and pieces, the nuances that, like, what was, I'm trying to think of an example, but I think it's, was it Rick Moranis's costume, the kind of tie of the thing, but it's actually like a cock and balls if you look closely into it. And I was like, that never caught my eye before. But yeah, it's definitely a
Well,
a
if
movie
there's
that keeps on
anything
moving.
about this movie, it is subtle. Like there is a lot of
There's definitely we'll get to it later, but there's even like a Yiddish joke reference that has never landed for me, mostly because there's Yiddish I just don't make those associations with, but when I'm reading it, I'm going like, oh, that joke makes so much more sense now. But anyway, that's down the road.
Yeah, so some background. Mel Brooks was looking for a new genre to destroy, and there was Star Wars. I think Star Wars had 3 movies out already, so he secured $22 million to make the film, and I don't think he had any trouble doing it because it was the 8th film he would write and direct after such successes as Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein. That was another one in the box
Oh,
set
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Young Frankenstein. Brooks recruited Ronnie Graham and Thomas Meehan to help him write it. Graham and Meehan both had successful careers in Broadway at the time. Brooks was trying to cast some big names for the lead male role of Lone Star. He originally wanted Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks for the role. Bill Pullman said once they got John Candy and Rick Moranis locked in, that was his chance. He had heard that Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks were actually up for the roles, but once John Candy and Rick Moranis got there, he figured those were the big names that the film had. He didn't really need too much more, and so Bill Pullman took his chance and auditioned, and he got it. So obviously, Brooks didn't need George Lucas's permission to make the film, but they were friends. So Brooks sent Lucas the script for his blessing. And I think this is kind of why he was able to make it a little bit better than all of the other parodies there.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he didn't just give his blessing. Like he opened the doors to Industrial Light and Magic and some other stuff.
Yeah. So Brooks sent Lucas the script for his blessing. Lucas gave his blessing with one condition, and that was no merchandise was to be sold for the film.
Which
is funny.
I know where you're going with this.
Well, there's a documentary. I'm sure some of you have seen it, but there's a documentary on Netflix called "The Toys That Made Us," a docu-series, I should say. If you go look at the Kenner Toys Star Wars one, it's absolutely hilarious in terms of George Lucas, because it bothered him so much that they were making so much money off of Star Wars merch, and then the moment that contract went up, he was like, "Give me that back." So. George Lucas has a weird thing about merchandise. He wants to have full ownership of the merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
When I read that, I was like, well, that's not shocking. But I highly recommend that docuseries, though, if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. But he was serious. He said it would be too close to the Star Wars merch, and you don't mess with George's money. So that led Brooks to writing the famous scene that pokes fun at that stipulation.
Well, it's sprinkled throughout. It's like, oh, Spaceballs the movie, Spaceballs the
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's
The cereal.
hilarious. The cereal that
Breakfast cereal,
yeah.
the flamethrower.
Yeah.
Spaceballs 2, The Quest for More Money.
Yeah. So, special effects wise, Brooks wanted it on the same level as Star Trek and Star Wars as well, which also probably appeased Lucas's ego. And like you said, Jed, he opened up those doors for his post facilities in order to achieve that visually. So, here's the plot synopsis. In a distant galaxy, Planet Spaceball has depleted its air supply, leaving its citizens reliant on a product called Perry Air. In desperation, Spaceball's leader, President Scroob, which, if you didn't catch it, is Brooks without the S backwards, orders the evil Dark Helmet, Rick Moranis, to kidnap Princess Vespa, played by Daphne Zuniga, of oxygen-rich Druidia and hold her hostage in exchange for air. But help arrives for the princess in the form of renegade space pilot Lone Star, which is played by Bill Pullman, and his half-man, half-dog partner, Barf, which is played by John Candy.
Amazing.
So, some questions for y'all. What did you like and dislike about the movie?
Oh.
Well, I'd seen this movie like 8,000 times as a kid and hadn't seen it in a minute. And I definitely enjoyed it more as a kid, which, you know, it is juvenile humor in a lot of ways. But I mean, it still stands up. I mean, I feel like also I've seen it so many times that it wasn't like most movies where I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this in forever. And it's like, oh, this is like a whole new movie. It's like, oh, no, I remember this movie. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for this movie.
Yeah, sight gags always get me. I mean, that was the whole thing with the airplane. So, you know, when they're combing the desert with an actual comb, I mean, something like that, like, I can't help it. Like, I'm such a sucker for that stuff. This might be an unpopular opinion. I have never been a fan of Bill Pullman. This is one of two movies I either like or tolerate him in. 3 if you want to count Sleepless in Seattle, because he's just kind of playing a version of himself, I feel. But
Is it personal?
No, I've heard he's a nice guy, actually.
Okay.
I don't know, something about his acting style I've never, I don't know, he's one of those people that, like, a lot of his roles come out similar to me.
Gotcha.
There's a movie called Zero Effect that I thought he was amazing in. I mean, arguably maybe his best role. And this one, I like him. Maybe it's because I saw it as a kid, and maybe that's why. But I don't know. I've always found him to be a weak link. That's where the alternate casting universe for Lone Star is very fascinating, to think like these other options, how that would have played out. But I don't think he brings the movie down. All of that said, it's just I felt like he's an interchangeable person. If that's
Sure.
I mean, you could say the same of Daphne Zuniga, though, too. I mean, they are comparable, I would say, acting-wise.
Yeah.
That's fair. But it's a mild complaint. I mean, like, the movie's always been one of my favorites. I was definitely in the Mel Brooks canon. I mean, top 3. And then, like you were saying, the Star Wars nostalgia, you know, and the spoof aspect. I mean, spoofs are always fun. Even a terrible spoof movie still has moments, you know. And so, like, a good spoof movie like this is always going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, for me, Star Wars was one of the first big things that my dad introduced me to. And watching Spaceballs initially, probably as a kid on my first run through, I almost felt offended because I felt like it was making fun of something I loved. But as yeah, I know. But as time goes on, it's almost like it taught me that you can make fun of things that you enjoy and love, and without taking
Stop taking yourself so seriously, Talia.
Exactly. And I mean, anything with Mel Brooks is just so silly and over the top. Somehow Blazing Saddles was my first one at a very young age.
Yeah, Blazing Saddles. This is how young and gullible I was. So I have an uncle whose last name is Pickens, and Slim Pickens in Blazing Saddles. I remember. I mean, I must have been like 6 or something like that. And he was going, you know, and he's trying to tell me, you know, hey, you know, my uncle is in this movie. And I'm like, what? No, he's not. And then when the credits came up, he goes, Pickens, see, that's me. And I was like, oh, my God, like, it's true, you know. So, yeah, Blazing Saddles was definitely the first I saw, and very gullible to my uncle. But But it was also, even as a kid, the racial humor doesn't make any sense, but the sight gags yet again, or like
we ain't found shit.
Yeah, Mongo punching a horse, or the beans farting. More beans, Mr. Taggart?
Blazing Saddles.
So all of that was a good introduction, just as I think this would have been too as a kid. But once you get hooked on one Mel Brooks movie, I think that humor is going to carry over to the other stuff too. Yeah, so
for sure.
Well, I mean, and also, I mean, the it's pretty similar to the Zaz guys, you know, too.
Yeah, there's definitely some similarities.
Oh, for sure. Just the spoof aspect of it, I feel like they definitely cross over for sure.
The George Lucas blessings, when I was reading all this stuff, that there's something about it. I don't know, maybe tell me if you felt different, but there's something about it, like a little Kiss the Ring kind of a way about it.
Sure.
Like he got the first private screening, and you're hearing like, and then we laughed our way through and all this, but in my head I'm imagining Lucas like going like, oh, Brooks, you did it again. Like some kind of like, I don't know. There's something. There's something about it.
There's a little circle jerky, probably.
Yeah.
I bet he had notes.
Oh yeah,
notes. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's even like stuff in the trivia about like Mel Brooks getting nervous about some of the Jewish jokes, and I even questioned like some of that stuff. I'm like, did he really? Because like that's kind of a shtick of the Mel Brooks canon, but it's also part of what makes this movie fun and special. It's like in the intentional casting and the Schwartz, and so I even sometimes when you're reading this stuff, you got to take it with a grain of salt because you just don't know how true it is, especially when it's like, say, IMDb trivia or something, because that's peer to peer. It's like a Wikipedia page essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing by your responses, y'all are all more Star Wars people than Star Trek people.
Oh, absolutely.
I certainly grew up more.
I like
with
the
Star
classic
Wars.
Star Trek, and I did watch Next Generation pretty regularly back in the 90s. But other than that, I don't know all the other ones. But the first three, 3, 4, and 5, we'll say.
Okay.
Solid.
And I'm more of a Battlestar fan than Star Trek.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's my wife. Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
We're all dorks in different ways.
Yeah.
Star Trek was a lot of like revisit, where there's a reference to like, say, the famous from the original series, the famous Spock versus Kirk fight, and there's that music that plays in that episode. But I'm seeing it in parody form first. And so it's kind of like when Zoe's in the past talked about how like she learned it through The Simpsons before she actually saw the thing they were referencing.
Right.
That's how a lot of Star Trek was for me, where I would then retroactively go back and go like, oh, this is the thing that they're, okay. And now I get why it's iconic. Now I get. But growing up, definitely Next Generation, I was the right age for. And I watched a lot of that, and then the movies, the older movies. I'm trying to remember. I think the first Star Wars movie I saw, or Star Trek movie, was the one with the whales. That they had to bring the whale into the future. Was that the fifth movie or something like that?
Okay.
Oh, Wrath of Khan was mine. I saw that in the movie theater, and I still get weirded out by the possibility of things going in my ear.
So that's Ricardo Montalban, and I saw
as Khan.
This is a perfect example of it. I remember seeing the Saturday Night Live with Dana Carvey mimicking Ricardo Montalban as Khan, going like Kirk, and like really like enunciating and everything. But again, I'm a kid. I don't know exactly why this is funny, and then seeing the movie later and going, oh. But yeah, the whale one, which I think was the least popular one, was like the first Star Trek thing I ever remembered actually seeing independently.
My dad would put it on, but it would honestly make me go straight to a nap.
Oh,
and then
maybe that's why he put it on.
Star Wars on. Yeah, that's exactly why I put it on. Didn't go mow the yard.
Well, let's just also give a shout out that Star Trek was way ahead of its time in so many ways, and made major commentary about society and racial
and it's still
situations.
Hyper
and
relevant.
it is absolutely hyper relevant. You're
Right.
absolutely right.
Aurora and Kirk kiss or something like that. And,
Yep, it was the first
it was the first
interracial kiss on
TV.
television.
Yeah.
But they made lots of commentary
See,
about.
I knew that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess going back to your original question, a lot of that stuff at Battlestar Galactica or Buck Rogers, even like I kind of remember like Biggie, okay, Buck. I can remember elemental things about it, but Star Wars, Return of the Jedi was the first movie I remember seeing in the theater because I was 5, so that was like a big deal because you're in the movie theater, you got the Ewoks, and yeah. So I mean, it for me, it was just a very impressionable movie for that time and everything. So.
Yeah. So my favorite moments. I think Jed had the same answer. I'm going to say the whole movie. And shouldn't that be the case for most, for all the movies that we picked respectively?
Yeah. It's a fair thing to say.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're like, oh, maybe it's this one. Oh, and this one. Oh, yeah, when this happens. And,
right.
The whole thing.
Right.
I mentioned it earlier, but this movie was an introduction to me of Michael Winslow, and if nothing else, that's the biggest impact that this movie has had on me. Is that when I'm all alone, I try as hard as I can to be Michael Winslow.
That was a great.
Ooh, do I have a Police Academy series for you to watch?
No. Those
Does anybody want to try right now?
No. Recently,
Come on, Collier.
Recently,
put your money where your mouth is. There you go.
Yeah, it wasn't
All
bad.
right, I'll buy it. Better than I could do, that's for sure.
I recently heard someone talking about trying to rewatch the entire Police Academy franchise.
Yikes.
But they said if you're going to do it, start with the last movie so that way they get progressively better going backwards.
And some extracurricular help would probably be a good idea too.
But going to the Michael Winslow thing, that was a really funny read. Was Mel Brooks later joked that by letting him do the sound effects that they saved about $1,000.
Yeah. So other favorite moments, Colonel Sanders rinsed the movie before it gets finished, and everything gets meta.
Oh yeah.
They start watching. And fast
It's
forward.
meta before meta. Yeah.
So for Jed, it was Leslie Nielsen. For me, it's Rick Moranis. Playing with the dolls.
Oh my God, that
was an improvised scene, right?
Hilarious.
Which was an improvised scene.
Really?
Yeah, it was totally his idea.
I think it's fair to say, I think that's one of the reasons why Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement to do Spaceballs 2, because what you learn and kind of looking at the backstory on the original Spaceballs is how invested Rick Moranis was. I mean, he was very into this movie.
Yeah.
And
we'll get into it a bit, but he wanted to do the sequel a long time ago.
I mean, honestly, I feel like it's pretty timely because as I was watching Spaceballs, I'm like, oh, interesting. There's some parallels into what we can consider or have to consider real life these days.
Like Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just like Star Trek.
Just like Star
Just like
Trek.
Star Trek.
he also didn't. I could be wrong, but didn't they tried to do a sequel, right? Or they announced a sequel a long time ago, and then it just something happened and went into the ether.
No, well they announced the sequel a long time ago. Like Josh Gad has been on for a long time.
Okay.
For I want to say 6 or 7 years at this point.
And to be clear, not the joke Spaceballs 2 reference in the movie.
Right.
I'm talking about
Right.
actually a real sequel.
Yeah.
Please tell me the subtitle is The Quest for More Money, though, because I think it needs to
It would still be appropriate.
I know.
Yeah. I think it will be. But we'll see.
Oh, I did the inflation calculator earlier. 22 was it 22 mil?
Yes.
22 mil in 1987 is around 65 million today.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
So almost tripled.
about right.
It's a nice chunk. So obviously the merchandising scene, iconic.
Oh yeah.
I quote this one all the time. Anytime I see something that's unworthy of merchandise, in air quotes, as an extension of the franchise, I think of this scene. So this is what this is a scene I saw and I thought, maybe it's not all about the money. I kind of did understand this joke at the time, or at least I thought I did to a certain extent, without knowing the background of it all, and just kind of playing with the idea that it's maybe not about money and it can be about goofing around and being funny,
I'd never noticed until the last watch that the cereal box says 100% sugar. It's one of the. I mean, maybe it's because I'm watching the movie, with intent and everything, and props is specific. But I'm like, you start appreciating the graphics and the subtleties that a lot of times if you don't clock it, and it's not said, it's just there in the background to be found. But those little subtleties are always nice touches.
I had completely forgotten about the little musical break
that
is happening. And I was like,
Wait, which one?
Where the Spaceballs song is playing.
Oh, yeah,
and
when they're escaping.
Doing the whole,
yeah.
I was like, I completely forgot about this. It was out of my brain until I watched it again.
That was another thing in the merch I had not noticed, but some things are lazily Transformers that they just slapped the Spaceballs logo onto. Like they didn't even try to hide what it was. Yeah. But I think that's, that's again that intentional like joke of like the cheapness and everything, and maybe something in the whatever the nod or poke, whatever you want to call it, to George Lucas and no merchandising comment. But yeah, I think I saw somewhere where like a few items do exist in the real world, or there were some copies made of things, but I think they...
nothing made officially, I think. It's all just like,
more like auction, kind of like these are the props from the movie, is set dressing for the movie.
Yeah, sure. I think there definitely was some of that, I think. I know Brooks's son owns a lot of things. But yeah, they sell, you can find T-shirts and all that kind of stuff on eBay, but they're all just knockoff.
That's actually a good disclaimer to say right now for anyone who ever tries to hunt people like me down to see if I have that prop or something from the show you like. Producers get that stuff. I don't get that stuff.
Right.
Just so you don't have to.
And the children of producers.
Yeah, and the children of producers. Yes, like those are the names you need to be looking at.
I'm not even a props person, and I get contacted for
costumes,
prop
of course.
Not even costume stuff. They ask for props.
Oh, really?
I'm like,
wow.
I do not answer.
Very rare that we get to hold on to anything, and that's only if there were several multiples made. And what was it? I met Planet of the Apes. I'm blanking on his name, but I met the guy that used to be Michael J. Fox's stunt double, and in his stunts trailer on the wall was a Mattel hoverboard, and it's like that's pretty awesome. But it's very rare to have anything like that.
So y'all can stop
there aren't
asking
many that
us.
work.
Yeah.
So
what's that?
there aren't many that work.
just the three.
Only that one hanging on the wall.
We've had the technology for decades. Why? Yeah, that was one of the best rumors. Not to be, we're getting off track, but that was one of the best rumors growing up. Was that it was like next year? It's coming out next year. The Mattel hoverboard, and then it never happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the relevance of Spaceballs. That entire merch scene. It is fun though that it's even though it's a joke gag for the movie, the idea, I guess, kind of like Wayne's World, where they're taking an actual moment to get money, like actual money, but that you could say is kind of stealing or riffing off of this, where it's not for actual money, but it's just the joke of getting money. So, maybe the impetus for the Wayne's World gag was Spaceballs, maybe, or Return of the Killer.
I feel like Mike Myers is a fan of Mel Brooks.
Yeah, that's
not
safe to
knowing
say.
for sure, but I would bet some serious money on that.
Yeah, that's safe to say.
I also think Mel Brooks would probably give his blessing if you're saying, "Oh, I'm also going to be making money off of this, off of my homage to your joke."
Right.
Yeah, I think you'd probably be all right with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, any other favorite moments or anything? Anybody?
All of them.
I think as a kid, I was amazed by Pizza the Hut, but rewatching it more recently, I kind of I'm impressed by. I mean, it's disgusting, of course, but in a fun way. But I mean, I don't know. That's something maybe.
Yeah, let's talk about Pizza the Hut.
Yeah,
It's like he's disgusting, but you still kind of want to eat him at the same time.
well, and I even read.
You can have my serving, Collier. I'm good.
Well, apparently they were melting real cheese on him, and the guy inside
Did he
got
get
burned.
burned?
Yeah, and so
Well-
when they had to do reshoots, it was a different guy, I guess.
No,
It was the same guy.
Maybe
Same-
they didn't
they-
really need a guy in there. I'm just saying.
All right, here's the story.
Okay, come on, Justin, give us the real stuff.
So, Pizza the Hut, yes, it was. They wanted the pizza to be basically boiling on him, and you can see the cheese kind of boiling and popping off of him. So they did have a heating element built into the costume that basically heated the cheese up and made it bubble, and it did start smoking on the inside.
Ooh.
And the actor Dom DeLuise started kind of screaming and yelling inside the costume, and basically the Vinny the robot, who is played by Rudy DeLuca, was like, hey, cut, we need to stop. He's on fire. And Mel was like, no, let's keep going.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it's in the documentary. He's kind of they're all kind of joking about it. So my assumption is that it did. I think they got it in the few takes that they needed to get it in. I don't think they needed to reshoot that scene.
But
I believe.
sometimes it hurts to look good. So
Yeah.
Beauty is pain.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I knew Dom DeLuise voiced it. I didn't know it was him in the suit. Because if you don't have to put the more expensive person inside the suit,
Right. That's
Yeah.
exactly.
not to make the millionth Simpsons reference, but they're talking about a famous robot from Lost in
It
Space.
wouldn't be one of our podcasts without
I
a
know.
Simpsons reference.
But when they're like, I feel bad for the little person inside, and they're like, oh, come on, at least they took care of him. And then, like, as they walk by, the front of it kicks open. There's a skeleton of a little person inside. They don't care about the puppeteers or
Right.
whoever that's doing it. But an outfit like that is elaborate. As far as that's a multi-person operation just to
Right.
have that going. So that's where
And special effects was definitely involved in
yeah.
that, and it was a multi-departmental foray.
that one, I guess, because it's visually more obvious that it's a team effort to get it going and everything. That's where it's impressive. I think when I was looking at stuff earlier, and you can speak to it, I'm sure, but the barf outfit, I had no idea was as complicated as it was.
Oh yeah.
Including like a 30-pound battery on his back, I think.
Yeah,
Like he was
for the
having to
tail.
run.
For the tail,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but then there was like separate people puppeteering the ears or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a 4-person operation. But it's stuff like that. Like sometimes even us that are in the industry, you don't realize how complex something
yeah.
is, or you're just invested in the movie because it's a good movie. That's
Yeah.
the other thing. It's like you shouldn't be paying attention to these things if the movie's good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's some of the stuff that was more impressive watching it as an adult, and more recently is, I guess the detail of some of the outfits and things like that.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I apologize. It was I was saying it was Dom DeLuise. I'm gonna go back and edit this.
Oh.
Because I didn't get coffee, so that's not fair. So the guy in the costume, Pizza the Hut, his name is Richard Caron.
Okay.
And he had a frame that was built
Triangular.
He looked like a piece of pizza,
Yeah.
so they just melted cheese on him directly.
It was covered in real pizza, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was the base of it? Do you know?
I don't know. It was just a frame that was built to.
If anybody knows,
I'm
please
guessing
write in.
Wood
Yeah.
of some sort. He didn't have to move around, so he just had to do this number.
And get burned.
Yeah. So Rudy hears Richard whispering to him, "Smoke, smoke." Rudy screams to Mel, "Mel, hey, he's burning." To which Mel replied, "Wait a minute, let's finish a shot."
That sounds right. If it was Dom DeLuise, they would have stopped.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
How's the
Right.
expression go?
Yeah.
You ask for forgiveness later than permission now. That thing.
Yep, something like that.
Better to ask for forgiveness than
In the
Yeah.
ER. Forgiveness in the ER.
Yeah. Which is something that we do often in the industry.
What do you mean?
Yep. I don't know what you're talking about.
Especially, actually, Collier, that's something you can really speak to because a lot of people have to come back to you later and go, "I'm really sorry I had to do that."
No one apologizes for Jack.
I've definitely apologized to you at least
Oh, well,
once.
you never needed to, Jed.
Oh.
But that's also what I tell everybody, so I'm totally full of it.
All right, trivia.
All right. Yeah. New impressions, trivia, factoids. So, R.L. Stein, you may know him
this
from
blew my mind. Yeah.
such classics as Goosebumps. Wrote a novelization of the film along with Brooks, but used the alias Jovial Bob Stein. No clue why. So a short-lived animated series came out in 2008
Wow.
based on the movie. In 2013, Rick Moranis and Brooks discussed a potential sequel that was going to be called Spaceballs 3. The Search for Spaceballs 2.
All right, I'll allow it.
No clue why. Couldn't find anything on it, but they ultimately couldn't move forward with it. So, according to the press release, the film has been described by those who have not yet read the script as a non-prequel, non-reboot, sequel part 2, but with reboot elements franchise expansion film. Which I think is a good description. Yeah.
That sounds like a great thing to say to idiot producers that will go along as if you're serious.
100%.
I like this. I like this. Yeah, okay. Then you're just like blowing smoke.
Just going in one ear and out the other.
We talk shit about producers so much on this show that it'll be amazing when, if and when film ever comes back, that if any of us ever work again.
No, it'll be. You know why? Because producers don't listen to podcasts.
Oh, right.
I don't know what you're
They don't
talking
care
about.
about. They don't care about us.
Every single one of them. I love every single one.
I think it goes back to the very first episode we ever recorded when we were talking about like what we want to do with the podcast, and Chris had said something. I'm paraphrasing, but it was like one of his things was like, I just want to know what the fuck a producer actually does.
I think we are like here.
But yeah, I mean, like I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I mean, yeah, we'd love to have a fucking producer on to actually explain anything about producing.
We should talk about the studio at some point. Not right now. We should talk about the Seth Rogen
conversation.
Yes.
Oh, the show, the studio,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I watch it with. I've been watching it with a non-film person, and I've been like, absolutely true, absolutely not, absolutely true, absolutely not.
I wanted to say about the book, I had no idea this book existed.
Yeah.
When I was looking at this stuff, and as soon as I saw that there was a book, I mean, I'm looking at my notes right now. In all caps, I have, there's a book. But I took the time to pull some of the things that were added into the book.
Oh, sure.
So, like, for example, Megamaid doesn't actually speak in the movie, but did you see this?
No.
In the book, the Megamaid has one line, and it's, I don't do Windows. But yeah, there's like little touches like that. R.L. Stein expanded, of course, because it's a book on several things. So like all the dinks have names.
Yeah.
And there's a whole...
Speaking of the dinks, Blu-ray.
I'm just gonna break that out randomly throughout my days from now on. Speaking of the dinks,
Tony Cox was a dink.
I feel like it'll be appropriate in many situations. Anyway, proceed,
used
Justin.
In a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
You can Blu-ray special features on the film. You can watch it in dinkies.
Dinkies.
All right, I need to get the Blu-ray.
Dinky's dubbed and Dinky.
I have a lame old regular DVD.
Yeah.
Loser.
I think there's only a trailer on it.
Yeah.
Lame.
You can also
What kind of Mel Brooks fan are you?
The kind that got the 40th anniversary Blazing Saddles one.
you can also watch the dubbed Mog version.
Wow.
Half man, half dog. It's just a dog barking. That's great.
Let's see. I also saw. Let's see. They go into a lot more detail about the interior of the Eagle 5 RV, and at one point, Princess Vespa uses an aerosol can labeled "Royal Smell" to spray her guest area.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like a really fun book if you're a fan and want to go like that extra mile. Like it does seem like they just put fun additional touches to it. Like it's not expanding the story much. Like there's, from what I saw, there's some details in like the love story, I guess, aspect.
Sure.
There's a few additional things, but everything else, like here's another one. There's a running gag in which every time Barf scratches himself, one of the other characters asks if he has fleas. It's like all little stuff like that, nuanced stuff. So it does sound like a fun read if you're a fan of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the priest minister character who marries Princess Vespa and Prince Valium. Thank you. Yes. Great impression. As I'm writing this, I'm laughing my ass off, and my wife is looking at me strangely. Because of Valium. Anyway, so the priest is played by co-writer Ronnie Graham. Brooks was an executive producer on The Elephant Man, which was one of his favorites. He deliberately kept his name out of the credits of that one to avoid audience confusion due to his comedic reputation. But he apparently decided on hiring Lynch to direct and was able to get permission to do it black and white. That led to the friendship with John Hurt, which then led to Hurt's role as the astronaut in the diner, repeating the alien bit, where the alien pops out of his stomach.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
A little takeoff on the Looney Tunes frog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not again.
And apparently he was doing that as a favor and didn't realize it was going to be as involved as it was. And he was a little... it's hard to say to the actual degree of how upset he was. I mean, but it looks like he was a little miffed that it was like, yeah, I'll come do it, kind of thing. And then it was a lot more involved, and he was like, I should have asked for money.
Yeah.
So, but it happens.
It happens. So the Desert Speeder, here's a little bit of trivia. The Desert Speeder, Lord Helmet's Desert Speeder, you can see a mirror beneath it.
Oh, right.
As it's going along. Which is how they make it appear to be floating. The dolly.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out as I was watching it. I'm like, is that like a plexiglass box it's on or something?
Yeah. That's a call to the actual...
Because you could see a delineation
Wars,
of a line as well. Yeah.
Like basically they did that same gag for the Tatooine.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously they didn't make
You
it as
couldn't-
obvious. That,
Cleaned it up.
Yeah. So there is, you can see a dolly track behind Dot in the Wizard of Oz shot as they're walking up to Yogurt's lair. So after Lone Star loses his Schwartz ring, you can actually see him wearing it later in the Winnebago during the escape.
That's a props. So good.
Jed.
That might be a costumes fuck up.
That could, yeah.
Yep. It's not a wedding ring.
Speaking of Goose, that was a fun one. I guess crew kept leaving cups on set, and so Rick Moranis just randomly decided to start drinking out of one of the cups so that it would justify the other ones on set, which is something you can get away with. We talked about it in the airplane
In a Mel
episode.
Brooks movie?
Well, in these kind of spoofs where you can kind of be more forgiving with mistakes, it's, unfortunately, like, say, Game of Thrones, you can't manifest Starbucks into that universe, like it's not, it doesn't work, but these are just white cups or whatever that people are leaving around
Little
set.
Easter
it's
eggs
a
for
yeah,
people.
so it's easier to just be like, screw it, and then there you go. You've now justified the other stuff left around on
Yeah.
set.
Even putting in the Mr. Coffee.
Right.
Yeah, it was, an extra step towards that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And then burning himself through the helmet. Yeah. All good stuff. So a few other things here. Rick Moranis would try to make Colonel Sanders laugh right before a take. And then he would drop his helmet mask so that he could laugh.
I kind of love that.
Yeah. I imagine he was really fun on set.
I would imagine so as well.
The movie premiered 1 month to the day before I was born.
Whoa.
Yeah, June 24th, 1987. You guess the age from there.
Well, it's 60. I'm doing Zoe math.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. Happy belated birthday to Mel, by the way. Just turned 99.
Damn.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It always blows my mind that he's married to Lauren Bacall.
No,
not
Anne
Lauren
Bancroft.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Which for you kids, that's Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate. About the opposites attract. Yeah, lucky Mel. That they always. I think my parents were telling me at one point that it's like even at the time that they got married, everyone was like, "Wow, okay." Like no one saw that relationship being a thing, but they were married for what, like 4 decades, I think, before she passed, something like that.
Oh, they were married forever.
Yeah, they were married a very long time.
Long time.
So keep the comedy in the relationship.
Mm-hmm. So out of so Brooks's biggest video sales, everybody thinks might be Blazing Saddles or Young Frankenstein. Those are the ones that just did best at the box office. So the best video sales to date have actually been Robin Hood, Men in Tights, and Spaceballs.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the original name for Spaceballs was Planet Moron. And
why did they not stick with that?
Well, they had to shift when they found out about the British film Morons in Space, which I now want to see.
Okay.
Nice.
Was that movie recent in terms of like when this was trying to release, or was it an older movie that?
It was an older movie. It seemed like they didn't go into too much detail about it, but they just wanted to avoid that one.
Planet Moron would have been. I mean, Spaceballs is fine, but
right.
Planet Moron's good.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Yeah. And then lastly, Barf's ears, as Jed mentioned, were controlled by 2 puppeteers off stage, but they were radio controlled, which I thought was pretty cool.
So who was controlling the tail?
I believe that was also radio controlled. I'm not sure.
Probably from that 60-pound battery.
Or it could have been.
Well, the battery's powering, but who's making the tail wag?
Yeah, puppeteer.
I just assumed the
remotely
he was grabbing something in his hand, like a.
Oh yeah, Candy could have been doing it.
Maybe
exactly.
so.
I think it was Candy.
Mm-hmm.
There is that scene at the end when he's at the diner.
I was just
and it goes off and the up the waitress's skirt kind of.
It's got a mind of its own.
I don't know. I imagine somebody else would have had to been controlling that for that, but I don't know.
I mean, if they're controlling the ears, they're probably controlling the tail.
Right.
Right?
Right. I don't know. All great questions.
If anyone knows, please write in.
So that's pretty much all I got on the trivia stuff. There's a couple of shooting in the desert sucked like most.
It always sucks.
It always sucked.
Real quick, it
it
was John Candy puppeteering the tail.
All right.
There you go.
Good work.
So it's like a spring mechanism in the hand or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Or magic. Either way, he puppeteered it.
Yeah.
I mean, John Candy was magic, so.
Might have been an extension of his real tail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think we're allowed to talk about that.
A couple other.
It's a family show.
I mean, this is totally random. So when Yoger is beckoning the gang over to the merchandising counter, he says, "Walk this way," which is a quote from Young Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't know when it was done in Young Frankenstein, that was the inspiration for Aerosmith's "Walk This Way." I never knew that part.
When you said "Walk This Way," Aerosmith was the first thing I thought of.
Well, because in Young Frankenstein, it's Igor going "Walk This Way," and then everyone's like imitating, his lurch or whatever. And so, as a kid, that was great, but I had never even made the connection between the two movies. And then when I'm reading the trivia, I'm going like, wait, Aerosmith got that? Okay, well, there you go. So, that was random. And also, Brooks often pokes fun of Nazis. That's one of his things. And in Spaceballs, I had to go back and look, but the stunt double that plays Princess Vespa intentionally looks like Adolf Hitler, if you go back and look. So, kind of like in, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka, when she's having her period or whatever, I just used air quotes, and there's the fight in the cafe, and it's, I can't think of the actress's name, but it's a black female actor, and the stunt double that swaps out is clearly a white guy with a mustache, like it's not even remotely close, but yeah. It made me think of that.
You can. I was looking up, some of the merch you might be able to find, like on eBay and things like that. And that's one of the action figures you can get is the Princess Vespa stunt double with the beard.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's now I want it.
Yeah, you get it.
Exactly what I need to be spending my money on.
Yeah.
I think it's only like $89 right now.
Yeah,
Plus
exactly.
shipping.
Yeah, it'll go up in value.
Yeah, it's probably way more than that.
Probably.
Oh, and this is the other thing I was going to say to the Mr. Rental. If you pause and look, there are tapes of Friday the 13th and Rocky, and those are in, I think they go up to 14 sequels of those two franchises. And then there's also Mel Brooks' other movies are homaged in that collection as well. So there's some fun Easter eggs in that little thing.
Yeah, and then they mentioned Rocky 5000 at the end.
Right, exactly.
Rocky 5.
Hogs review.
1,000.
Yeah, there you go. $85 for the.
Just want to say I should be on The Price is Right.
You should be on The Price is Right.
$85 only.
Which
you went over though. Yeah, if you go over, you go $1 over, you're out. Womp, womp, womp.
Oh yeah, you said
that's a good Price is Right.
Thank you.
Thing I was going to say about the Rocky, that this is a callback to our last summer miniseries. If you haven't listened, go watch or listen to the Rocky and Creed thing that we did. But also, I'm going to.
You should listen to that anyway.
I'm going to tease to the Collier episode. There's another Rocky reference in the trivia with that one as well. So we get 2 random Rocky call-outs.
It's everywhere.
I know. That's the thing.
Oh. Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, these movies, they're easy rabbit holes to go down because there's just so much trivia, and it's all interesting trivia because it's all just nerd trivia. But
and most people have seen either Star Wars or Spaceballs, so I feel like making the connections is always fun and interesting as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Justin, wrapping us up, what else you got?
That's about it. I did have just one more kind of thing to say to wrap it out, and that is Brooks did not enjoy playing yogurt.
Oh, yeah.
He was on his knees the whole time.
Yeah, he was being on his knees the whole time, did a number on him, and the gold paint gave him terrible rashes. Paul Newman blue drops in the eyes, irritated his eyes, is what he said. But still worth it for the laughs. And there's a quote for him that I'll end on, and it was a lot of pain playing that character, but the laughs are always worth it. The laughs are always worth it. Any kind of pain, because we're not always going to be around, but the laughs are still going to be there.
Mm.
Yeah. And that being said, may the Schwartz be with you.
And also with you. Awesome. Thank you so much, Justin, for Spaceballs. And that's going to wrap us up for today's episode. And let's see, next week we have Collier's episode coming up. Collier, you want to say what we're doing?
We're going to hook you. We're gonna hook you. No, I'm doing Hook.
He's doing Hook.
I'm doing Hook from 1991.
And by that he means I'm going to get you some. No, I was trying to say, I know what you did last summer. I was trying to think of the Hook scary movie. Anyway, I ruined that.
I could pivot.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I know, right? But yeah.
Always in threes, y'all. Come on.
You got a week to go watch Hook if you haven't yet, if you want to follow along and all that. And then we'll be back next week with Collier doing Hook.
Do you like what we're doing here? Do you have thoughts, comments, questions? Maybe you have an idea or suggestion for topics you want to hear about? Well, you can find us on the interwebs. You can email us at filmfolklorepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on the social medias, Instagram being Film Folklore Podcast. We have a Facebook group called Film Folklore, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at The Film Folk. And yeah, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, everybody.